What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at Borderlands 4 on the Steam Deck OLED. I have done some testing off camera, and it's not great. It's not great. If you saw my previous video, it wasn't great on a 5080. Actually, it was great on a 5080, but it was just 60 less than 60 frames on a 5080, which is insane to me. But let's take a look at the Steam Deck OLED trying to play Borderlands 4, and let me know what you think about the new setup. I'm trying something new. I have all of this equipment. Why not give it a shot? Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like it, hit that like. If you hate it, tell me what you don't like about it and hit the like. All right, so what we got going on here is a game that is poorly optimized. Well, I don't like to use the word poorly optimized. It's Unreal Engine 5. And right now, one thing I want you to notice, other than the frame rate, is our power draw. This game has a weird glitch with power draw. You'll see that we're only putting no more than like 6 watts currently. And even if I do the power tools trick, if we go from to performance, and then let's jump up to TDP, and then we're going to go ahead and hit reapply settings, and then we're gonna keep this profile persistent. That did nothing to our TDP, maybe a little bit. And if you remember, if you have a frame limit, if you disable or enable it, sometimes that will fix the power draw issue on the OLED, and it doesn't seem like it's doing any of it. So here's what we're going into. So let's take a look at our menu and look at all our settings. Oops, wrong button. And we're at window full screen 720p, so we're not even at our 800p. So probably because I'm using the capture card, but that's not going to make a huge difference. So we're at low everything, no upscaling, no nothing. And the low preset. So right now we're getting 17, 15 frames, not in combat too. So I'm guessing it's going to get a lot worse in combat, but this is pretty unplayable. And if we use some upscaling, we'll use let's do ultra performance upscaling, and then we'll go through the line of upscaling. We went from like 17, 18 to 28 to between mid 20s. But you can see, man, the picture is pretty terrible. So let's go ahead and mess with that once again. And we'll just go straight to balanced and see our... And then at balanced, we're getting 20, mid 20s to low 20s, but the picture looks way, way better. And then we'll go ahead and look at the power draw. Still the same. The power draw is still the same. And then let's just go to quality. And in quality, we're basically low 20s. It's definitely better than balanced, but definitely poor frame rate. And last but not least, we're going to go FSR, but we're going to do full resolution. And obviously that's going to be the same as native. Still the power draw is a issue. I want to check something real fast. I'm going to go options, and I'm going to turn, what was I going to turn off? Frame lock. I'm going to turn the frame limit on and see if that does anything with our power. And I'm going to turn it on here. It looks like we're drawing a little bit more power now that we put our frame limit on. So you see that we're doing 10 watts, 12 watts on the CPU now, but our GPU is still barely pulling any wattage. Okay, so this is the issue I was seeing last night, so I was able to recreate it. So now that we're pulling more on the CPU and slightly more on the GPU. Notice that we still are on FSR, but we are on full resolution. Look what happens when I put it onto quality. Look at my power draw. It tanks. You use less power on with FSR on than with it off for whatever reason. Once it knows FSR is on, it literally stops the power draw. I have no idea. Watch, I'll put it doesn't even matter what you put it on FSR too. So it's just it the moment it comes on, it tanks the power, and then when you take FSR off, oh, I don't think I enabled it. Yep, I did enable it. Now, well, it's all glitched again. It's a weird power draw issue. Maybe let's try the power tools glitch. Let's just that count. Sometimes just switching power tools to power save, the performance kind of tricks the power output. Nope, still the problem. It's remember, this game is not verified on Steam whatsoever, so that could be the issue. But for sure I'm having some real problems with this. And let's just go ahead and toggle limit frame. Toggle it back on. Oh, wait. Apply settings. So we put the frame limit back on, and then let's take it back off. It's so weird. It's just weird. But long story short, even though if we do max power draw, our wattage doesn't really do anything for our frame rate. So we're actually better off just going ahead and using FSR at quality. And watch this right here. So we're FSR quality on low. We're getting about 20, mid 20 to low 20s. I'm going to go ahead and move it to medium preset. And you can see that our frame rate did not tank that much from low to medium, and it looks quite a bit better. We did lose about 2 frames, but you can see there's a glaring issue here with GPU utilization. If you look right above the megahertz, we're only pulling 80% of the GPU, and I think that's all because of, more than likely, due to an issue with whatever drivers for this graphics or his APU for this game. So I don't know what to do. If anyone knows, please let me know in the descriptions how to fix this power issue. We're back to low now, and you can see like essentially the same spot. The difference is negligible at best, like 1 or 2 frames between low and medium. If you go to high, it does start to bog down quite a bit on high, and I think it has to do with the VRAM usage. So on high, we're low, mid teens. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do low, and we're gonna quality at low. We can act, and then we're gonna go ahead and use frame generation. Even the menu is slow in this game. So we have frame generation on right now, and we're getting about 40 FPS. As we're looking around, it does toggle. You can definitely feel, like, you can see it on the bottom left screen. You see that latency? It is bad. The frame generation in this game is unusable. So let's turn it off, and then we'll use lossless scaling. See, now our CPU is peaking. I have no idea why that's doing that. No idea. Apply settings. All right. No frame generation, feels better. Definitely have a little latency from the external display. But other than that, it's playing well. Look, our wattage is working again with upscaling. It's so weird. What is going on here? Now let's go ahead and use lossless scaling. And we're just going to do 2x. And then you should see from the top how minimal the latency is. Like, this is still latency, right? But it's way better than the native frame generation with FSR. Like, this is more playable. And we're getting about 34, 32 frames with this on. There, why is drop again? I do not know why that is a thing. And now let's go ahead and let's just send it and 4x it. Because you can do 4x. Now let's just try 3x. We got flow scale at 75. The implementation of lossless scaling on a Steam Deck is pretty good. So this, as you can see, definitely latency on the bottom left screen. Definitely have that. Definitely feel it when it's just when you're panning left and right. The artifacting is not bad though. I'll tell you that the artifacting is not that bad with frame generation. I'm gonna go ahead and try one more thing. I am going to see if I can change. I can't change the resolution. Let me see. Let me just try one more thing before I end this video. We're gonna go options, and we are gonna go to window full screen. We're gonna go to window mode, and I'm gonna try to drop. Oh, I can't change the. I hope I can change the resolution. If I go full screen, can I change? Okay, so I was hoping I could change the resolution. I can't do that. But we can, last but not least, try 4x on lossless scaling, and our wattage dropped again. And we got 4x frame generation. We're getting about 64 frames, 70 frames, and this feels terrible. As you can see in the bottom left screen, this, look at that. Look how late it is. It's so late. It's pretty bad. And I want to do one more thing. I want to turn off FSR and see how well we do it with FSR off. And now FSR is off. And we're getting about 5 to 10-ish less frames. It does feel a little bit more sluggish, but it does look quite a bit better, to be honest. Oddly enough. Usually I can't tell the difference between quality and normal, especially on a screen with this type of image. But there you go. Well, that's it. That is Borderlands 4 on a Steam Deck using lossless scaling. We tried everything to make it work. I would suggest not playing this game on a Steam Deck. This is nauseating. I'm getting nauseous right now by just panning around like this. I definitely wouldn't do it. I don't think it's a great idea whatsoever. So that's it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, hopefully you did. I don't know. But if you're curious if Borderlands 4 worked or didn't work on the Steam Deck OLED, now you know. It doesn't. Lossless scaling is terrible, but it is better than the native FSR frame generation. So take it for what it's worth. Other than that, guys, thank you for watching. My name is Nas, aka DIY Poppy. I'll catch you guys on the next one.